Well, something I want to dive deep into
Yeah.
are these Apple updates.
I don't know why. It's none of your business. It's literally none of your business.
Oh man, I saw these updates and I couldn't wait to come up here and talk about them.
I know,
You
and I
know,
don't understand why. Like, we didn't ask you to come over.
well, y'all over there making announcements, so I thought there were some
Y'all.
interesting things to discuss. So let's talk about it. Apple has dropped some new updates via iOS 18, which will include features that will allow you to lock and hide apps. But wait, that ain't all. Not only will you be able to lock and hide apps, you can now erase background objects from your photos using the cleanup feature. Your face is priceless right now.
Because I feel like some of the updates are childish. Like, I feel like they're not meant for me. They're meant for like a teenager who's trying to like hide things from their parents, and it's weird. But that's just me.
Context first. Let's finish telling them about the updates.
Sure.
Uh, there's also a feature that will permit you to record and take notes on phone calls. I'm gonna get back to that in just a second.
Right, because
Let's
that's
see.
not even. Anyway, go ahead, please.
You can now personalize photos from your photo library for chat conversations. I don't even really understand why that's an update, but anyway.
It's almost like a memoji, but it's weird. It's like a cross between a memoji and a bitmoji. That's what it looked like
And
to me.
and the best update of all,
Hmm.
if you're using the Apple Pencil, you could write down a problem and it will be solved immediately via math notes.
I don't even know what an Apple Pencil is.
It's the one of these, but for Apple.
I don't have one of those.
What's it called? A stylizer or something?
A style? How old are you?
Wasn't that what it was called?
A stylist? You
Stylus?
you sound older than you should. A stylizer? That sounds like something my parents would say.
I'm
Like
old.
like whenever my parents for a long time, they don't really do it anymore, but for a long time, whenever one of my parents would want to say send a text message, they would always say send an email.
All right. Well, a stylus. That's what
A
it is.
stylizer.
Whatever. I don't know what the hell. Now it's not even called that. Mine is called the S Pen, and y'all is called the Apple Pen.
Pencil.
Pencil. Oh, tomato, man.
I mean, you said it.
You're right. No, you're right. Well,
I'm just trying to fall in line, but
All right. So these are the Apple updates that were announced. As an Apple user, tell us how you feel about these updates.
Apple, I haven't edited photos or video on your device through through the iOS system in years. I don't care about being able to remove something from a photo background because as a content creator, I am never using your user interface to edit my photos and video. That's the first thing. That's just me.
That's just number one, huh?
That's just me. All of the
Tell us
other
how you really
things,
feel.
the notes thing is weird because you're not
Notes
technically, and I
and
know
recording phone calls.
notes and recording phone calls is weird because you're not technically supposed to do that in a number of states, including the one that I live in. So I don't understand. Like, you would have to look up, it sounds crazy, but you would have to look up wiretapping laws in your state to
Yeah.
figure out if this is even. So my guess is that it's probably not going to be available to everyone. It's probably going to be available to people who can do it, or they're going to put some sort of permission in there, because right now as it stands, which I always get upset when I think about this, but I'll never forget trying to record a podcast episode using FaceTime and recording the entire episode and getting to the end of it and realizing there is no audio. And the reason there was no audio is because when you live in the state of New York, you cannot record someone without their consent. So when you try to record a FaceTime call, when you try to screen record it, you have to actually give the app permission to record the audio.
Yeah.
So my
So
guess is that
Google,
that's what they'll do with this new feature.
so Google allows you to record phone calls if you
Mm,
use Google Voice. But what happens is the call must already be active, and it makes an announcement that says this
this is
call
being
is now
recorded.
being recorded.
Yeah,
So maybe that's what they're gonna do,
right.
where once you do it, it'll say this call is being recorded.
Right. Because I think the way it works in certain states is that if two people are consenting, it's okay. But there are laws that say that if only one person consents, it's not enough. Whereas in other states, there are laws that say if one person consented, it is enough. So you just, I mean, I don't know how frequently people will be using this. I guess it depends on what you do with your phone. Um, because maybe it is helpful. Like when we pre-pod, maybe it's helpful to like record what we're saying so that we remember it, right? Like something like that, I would think you would use that for. But also, I've got fingers that work and can just type out.
Well, now you can take notes, you know.
Right. So I don't know. I'm not really sure why that is necessary, but okay.
And
Um,
then, hiding your apps. I
I think
don't. You thought about teenagers. I thought about cheating ass cheaters.
Well, cheating ass cheaters are going to figure out how to cheat regardless of whether they hide the apps or not. You can also, at this point, you can have an app and it not be visible. You
Yeah.
know, I think what this is allowing you to do is actually put the app away the way you can hide photos. Put the app away somewhere in a secret place, and it'll you'll have to use biometrics to get into it to be able to access the app.
But
So
people have found the workaround for that, by the way.
which I'm sure they have. I know people do all kinds of stuff like, oh, my man is sleeping. Let me hold his phone up to his face and
Yeah, just put your finger right on there.
put your finger on it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the snoopers are gonna snoop regardless. They're gonna
Yep.
figure out ways. But I mean, I guess if this is something you're looking for, but I thought more like teenagers who don't want their parents to know that they have certain apps on their phones, stuff like that. So I don't know. I just really don't. To me, these are not updates that I particularly needed. But if
You wasn't looking forward to these?
no, because also I'm grown,
All right.
and
And not cheating.
I was just about to say I'm single, but when I'm in a relationship, I make a commitment, so it's not like I'm out there cheating. So
What?
there
Are you
was
serious? You mean to tell me you're not finding a sneaky link to cheat with?
no,
Oh,
no,
come on,
that's
Dash.
not that's not what I'm into. So Um, yeah, I wouldn't have anything to hide. That's why I'm like, to me, it's weird. It's like, oh, like when you hand a person your phone and they take your phone, like, who are you handing your phone to that you're worried that they're going to be looking through your apps? And I don't know, listen, maybe I know I get a little skittish when I'm around my nieces. So maybe when you're around children, you want to make sure that everything is kept clean. Um, so I'll say that, like, I make sure, never,
All right.
I make sure that I conceal any content that needs to be concealed. Like, if I know I'm going to be around the kiddos, I make sure that I put the content away that needs to be put away. So that if they do take my phone and they're like, oh, can I take a picture of this? And they start scrolling through photos and things like that, they won't find anything that's egregious
Got it.
to minors. So,
On
yeah.
Samsung, or I think all Android devices, because I only have Samsung, but there are other Android devices,
Mhm.
despite what Apple users believe. Um,
Well, what do
We
Apple
can
users believe? Yo, you be firing the shots at Apple users. What do Apple users believe? That there's only one phone?
that there's only that there's only there's only Android. That is one thing. There's mad companies that use the Android operating system.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought that was just common knowledge.
Apparently not. But I
Okay.
was gonna say we can just, I don't know about y'all, but if we swipe up on our camera while our phone is locked, it doesn't show you any pictures that were taken before. It
Yeah.
only the pictures that are currently taken.
Yeah.
So even
iPhones.
if I take a couple of pictures right now, you'll only be able to see the three
The
pictures I
pictures you
just
took.
took.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Our phones do that too.
yeah, so there's nothing really to hide there if you're, smart about how you do things.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, people, you can put apps in secret folders. I don't know why you need to completely hide your apps, but if you do, there's all type of secret folder apps that you could use. And on our phones, we can just create a secret folder. So I don't know. This is weird to me. I think all these updates are weird. And who's using a pen for their math equations today? Just want to know who's using a stylus to do their math equations and needs automatic answers because the calculator is on all the devices today.
Well, I was gonna say that again. I thought of children. It's not that I don't do math. I do math every day for work, but I thought of children, and I thought to myself, but they're gonna get their devices confiscated,
Yeah,
like for using this type of technology. I know even during tests, a lot of times they have to take, if they have on Apple Watches, they have to take them off
yeah,
because they can access certain features, certain iOS features from their watches. So
yeah.
this to me, I just feel like Apple, what you selling us bullshit? Is that what you're
Again,
selling us a bowl of bullshit?
again,
Because what did you do for me? What did you do for me?
nothing. But I'm sure they'll release it in a new color because they love doing that for y'all.
I don't care about that. My phone is black. My phone is black.
You know they like to do that though. After they drop the new phone, they be like, wait a minute, y'all. 6 months later, you guessed it, in cobalt blue. You never thought it was coming.
I have
You
not had a
never thought it
phone in
was
a
coming.
color in like a
Cobalt
decade.
blue. We got one new color for y'all. Don't
The,
worry.
the day they said the
Cobalt
phone
blue.
could just be black, I said, sign me up for the black phone. Because
Ridiculous.
you go ahead and you go get the lime green phone, and then like 6 months later, you're like, why the hell did I get this lime green phone?
And like my boy Dre likes to say, who cares
Mhm.
what color your phone is? You're putting a case on it anyway.
I was just about to say the same thing, that it doesn't even matter
My
these
phone,
days.
my phone could be pink and you'd never know. Like,
Right,
because you're
right.
gonna put a case on it anyway, unless you put a clear case on it. But that's not really what people do.
I mean, I've done the clear case, but I over the black phone.
There you go.
Yeah, so I don't know. Good luck to everyone on their future endeavors. I hope you enjoy removing things out of your photos. I've been doing that for years. Like I just don't. Some of this stuff is like remedial as far as I'm concerned. Like Apple, we found ways to do this shit y'all been doing where y'all been holding on to features.
Yes, tell them. Go get
that
them. Get 'em,
other
Dad.
that other tech geniuses said, hey, you know what we could just do? We could just create an app. Since Apple won't release the feature, we'll just create an app for the convenience of Apple users to do this. I need Apple for the phone. I don't really need Apple for much else. Like I'm not trying to, I don't want to go too hard. Like sure, should they continue to improve their devices? Absolutely. But I just feel like this didn't need to be like a whole big announcement. Y'all could have just rolled this out and we would have been fine.
Or just not even bothered.
Or not
Because
even bothered.
like,
Because,
are y'all gonna use these features? Like,
well, I won't, but I do think there are people who will use it. And that's why I said, like, I think it's going to be a game changer for the young people. I think it's going to be a game. They're going to be like, hi, Dad. My mom said I could not use Snapchat. You know what I'm about to do? Download Snapchat and hide it. I mean, I think that one is obvious. Um, the photo edits. I hate editing Apple photos. I hate editing photos in the photo app.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not. I've tried. Tried
You
even
can say it's
recently,
ass. It's okay.
and I've just
You
been
don't
like,
gotta be nice. You can say it's ass. It's all right.
I just feel like this is not okay. This is not. But maybe because also when you try other features, now you're like, oh, this is easier over there. I don't know, but what are you gonna do?